Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sicilian Corner podcast. My name is Mike. Lou is behind the counter over there doing all the controls and trying to make us look as good as possible.
Try.
It's a dirty job.
I'm the biggest enemy, though. So.
Somebody's got to do it. Sitting next to me, he's been on with us several times. I call him Mr. Encore, but his real name is Bill Dorazio. Bill, welcome.
Morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure. The last time you were on with us was July of 23. So it's been a little over a year.
Seems like forever, actually.
Yeah, a lot of good things are happening at Encore. And, you know, one thing I always learned, if you want to get the real what's happening, quote unquote, if you really want to know what's going on, you know what you do?
Read the paper.
Yeah, and you read the paper that's got 2 days old news in it. What the hell kind of
kidding you? I'm just kidding you.
Yeah. No, you go to the top. You go to top management. You go to the person that's in control of everything.
That's right.
And what you do is you call her up and you keep your fingers crossed, your toes crossed, and you say to her, would you be able to come on the Sicilian Corner podcast with me and Bill on Friday, the 13th? And you hope that she's going to say yes. And guess what? Today, we have, why don't you introduce it?
President of Encore Boston Harbor, the one and only Jenny Holaday.
Yay! We need a drum roll. We needed a drum roll for that. There you go. You got it going. So anyway, Jenny, thank you very much for joining us. I'm sorry, I can't, Louis, we can't hear her.
That's me. I got it. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Thank you for having me.
There you are.
Hi.
Hey, listen, again, like I said earlier, thank you very much for taking the time out to join us. There's so much that I want to get into, and Bill, we want our listeners to know exactly what the heck is going on over at Encore. And again, I have more complimentary things to say, not because you're on with me, but people that listen to our show through the years know the way I feel. And you know something, it's just absolutely amazing. And the responsibility that you have to run that type of a facility. How many employees, Jen?
3,300 employees, $1 billion business.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
3,300 employees.
Wow. 33. Is it overwhelming sometimes when you think that you got 3,300 people relying on what you do for a paycheck and their families? You think in that direction at all or not?
It's funny. I do think about families, but keep in mind, it's not me. We have an amazing team here. We have fantastic leadership, lots of seasoned executives. I would say we have three tribes here. We have some people who came from Las Vegas. We have lots of people who are local from Boston. But our first president, who I know you know and respect, Mr. Bob DeSalvio, came from Connecticut. So we have a lot of people who came from Connecticut as well. So those are sort of the three groups that make up our employees. And so there's just so much brain power here, initiative, creativity. So I never, ever feel alone or that it's my problem to solve until things go bad. And then, it's entirely my responsibility. But our success, I love to remind everybody, we succeed and fail as a team, and we just have an amazing group of people.
You know something, I'm inclined to agree with you. My girlfriend Barbara and I like to visit the Encore, and it's the total package. I'm not much of a gambler. Like I said to you earlier, I'm like a peon compared to a lot of people. I have a limit that I know that I can afford to lose in the afternoon, and then after having a wonderful, wonderful 4-star dinner over at Rare.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you can sit outside, that's even a bonus. Yeah. After having that, having a martini, I play again, and I know exactly what my win-loss is, and the way I look at it, I'm having a wonderful night out. And that's how I look at it. It's relatively close. And with the amount of people that come into the city of Boston, to have a class operation like Encore, that's got to be huge.
Oh,
for the
big,
for,
big.
for tourists to come in, especially the international tourists.
Mhm.
I think it's just the drawing power is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. The Encore opened up in 2019.
Yeah.
And I know you're not from the area, but that whole area where it is right now, that was so contaminated with chemical residue and whatnot. It smelled when you drove by. I mean, it literally stunk.
Yeah.
And to look at it now, the Harbor Walk
Oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
at night,
Gorgeous.
you go out there, you watch the lights come on the city of Boston, you sit on one of those park benches. Are you serious? I mean, come on now.
And then you can turn around and look up at the casino. It's beautiful, right?
How many floors in the casino?
Definitely
27?
The outside.
In the actual hotel tower,
Yeah,
28 floors.
28 floors. I've been on the 26th a couple of times. That's the highest I've been getting. But with the views, spectacular. The views, I love watching all the traffic at a complete standstill, trying to get across the bridge. And
Don't talk about the windmill, please.
well, I was. You know,
I knew it was coming.
Jenny, Bill does not like the windmill.
I do not.
Neither do I.
Thank you.
I love you, Bill, and I hate that windmill too. I'm
Thank you.
staring at it right now. It's not moving.
What has that windmill done to you?
It's one. I've seen windmill farms, and I'm a big fan of sustainable long-term energy, green energy.
too.
Yes,
Out of place.
absolutely.
It's out of-
All by itself.
Yeah.
One great, big, tall,
Poor little windmill.
poor little windmill.
And Bill doesn't like it.
Nope.
Jen doesn't like it. I'm the only one that cares for it, I guess. I'll call him up sometimes and I'll say, hey, Bill, the windmill's really moving today.
Yeah, I know.
Forget the windmill. Don't talk to me about the windmill. That's funny.
No, I just want to see what you're eating.
Yeah.
We should name it for Mike. What do you want to name it?
The Lamazo windmill. I like it. Call it Mike.
Yeah.
What's a good Italian name that starts with a W?
Starts with a W.
Well, because
You know, we
Wendy-
get a
Wendy windmill.
Yeah.
Not many start with a W. I'm just thinking. That's why I said that. Not many start with a W. But anyway, Jenny, in your profession, in the gambling industry, there are very, very few high positions taken by women. I mean, it's been like an old boys club for years and years and years. And, I think it's fantastic. You're the first woman that's been president of a major casino here in Massachusetts. There's going to be many that are going to follow you. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And, something, I think it's healthy. I think it's really healthy because women in particular, for detail,
Oh, absolutely.
very detail oriented. I have to say that, and
what's interesting, I think I have been fortunate enough to land this job because first I started in marketing, but then I came up through operations, and there aren't a lot of women in operations. In our business, that means, either the slot department or the table games department, but some sort of casino operation. And it's funny you say detail, not only attention to detail, because figuring out your gaming floor is very much like, intense retail merchandising. But then it's also all about the guest experience and being able to anticipate or plan around what that customer's experience is. And so I think women can usually sort of put themselves in somebody else's shoes maybe more easily than a man can sometimes. But then also one thing that made me unique is I love to gamble, and a lot of people in my business do not, which I always find fascinating. But I've always loved to play, and so I think that's helped me as well.
I think you see it as a customer. You're a customer. You're playing in a different casino. You can't play in your own property, but you're sitting there and you're looking at everything that's going on. You're very observant. You're looking at the pluses and you're looking at the minuses, but as a customer. When you're a supervisor or a director or whatever the case might be, you could walk by something 5-6 times a day and not really recognize the problem. Now you're a customer and you're looking and say, why don't they do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a whole different mindset. It's a whole different perspective.
Yeah.
And
I'll give you a quick story on that. So I was out here for my interview trip,
Yep.
and because I like to play slots, it has been for most casinos and in most markets, the majority of slot players are women. And so the creation or the explosion of carousel configurations had been, I would say, at least 10 years in the making when I got here in 2019. And it's because I don't want somebody to be able to see my credits, or I want to feel protective of my handbag. Playing slots is a solitary activity usually, and so it can aid my feeling of safety if I don't have somebody immediately next to me. So I'm here the night before my interview, and I'm walking along our galley, and there's this big, huge section. Bill will probably remember this. There was a big, huge section of the casino floor over on the Duncan side that was being completely reconfigured, and they're putting in bank after bank after bank of straight games. And I'm up there thinking, what are they doing? Oh my gosh. So to your point, yeah, so it's taken a while to get it's very expensive and it's very time consuming to reimagine a casino floor. So it's taken us a minute to undo all of that. And we're getting there. We're probably 80% of the way done now, 5 years in. But to your point, I noticed it right away. But if you're not a slot player, you wouldn't know why that was a bad move.
Bill, do you have any questions?
No, but I was just going to add to that. I was just going to say, and how much trouble it is to keep up with all the latest games. I mean, constantly new games coming out. So you're reconfiguring the machines, the floor, everything you got to do. It's constant change.
Yep.
I would, I may be wrong, but I would think that your single biggest line item, expense-wise, would be slots, correct? But bringing in new slots.
Yeah. Yes. From an annual capital expenditure standpoint. Yeah.
As an expenditure throughout the year.
Yep.
That's great. One thing that I kind of miss a little bit.
What?
A couple of years ago, you'd be walking through, whether it be Encore or wherever else, but most of casinos, all you would hear is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, you barely. So it's because tastes have changed. Is that the reason why behind? You don't have as many Wheel of Fortune machines, or
I can actually explain this. It's going to take a minute. You really want to know?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Okay. Wheel of Fortune was one of the probably the first, what we call an IP game, an intellectual property game.
Okay.
So in addition to leasing the game, you have to pay, the owner of that trademark or title, some sort of portion. Okay. So the first one was Wheel of Fortune. Hugely popular, took over the entire United States. They did what we call WAPs, wide area progressives, were tied to it. That's why sometimes you see huge jackpots associated with that. So it really owned the market, but we get smart fast around here. And so we're like, wow, what kind of theme can a customer immediately recognize? And so IP games, 007, Dolly Parton, Lady Gaga, you name it, IP games became a huge trend in the business. So it wasn't that Wheel of Fortune got less popular, it's that there became a lot more titles in that same space to compete for the floor. Yeah.
No, I get it. And I'm glad you explained that to me. I thought it was something like that where you had to pay a premium to use the name. That's cool. I want to go back. We talked about you being in the industry and how well you've done, but something, your mom, we'll go back to the 60s. Why don't you tell our listening audience about your mother and how successful she was?
You're going to get me all choked up early in the morning, Mike. My mom was in the business accidentally. She and my dad got divorced when I was very young, and her parents had relocated to Reno, Nevada, where they bought a little tiny motel. So she brought her 3 young kids to Reno to move in with her parents. And she didn't go to college. She never worked, right? She got married right out of high school, had 3 kids. So she got a job at a casino in downtown Reno, ringing up the dinner checks behind the scenes from what became a very famous showroom where Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra and a lot of the Rat Pack used to play back in the day. back when they had dinner shows. And that
I
was her first.
remember.
Yeah, that was her first job. And by the time she left the business in 2000, she was the senior vice president of non-gaming operations for a beautiful resort up at Lake Tahoe called Harvey's. It was a 5-star resort back in the day. So she went all
Bill
the way.
remembers it. Mike remembers it.
Yeah, Harvey's was awesome. So she hauled us around a lot as kids because also as a woman in the business, a lot of times you have to be willing to relocate to be able to get that next big jump. So we started moving when I was in the 8th grade. We went to Las Vegas. I felt like I was Eloise. She was the hotel manager at the Sahara. I would sit on the balcony and watch all the lights of the strip come up. The Stardust was right
There's
across the
nothing like it.
street.
Nothing
Yeah.
like
That was when Siegfried and Roy were playing there. It's the first time I ate a Monte Cristo sandwich. So anyway, so from Reno to Las Vegas to Atlantic City and then back to Reno. And then she stayed put. And to this day, she lives in a beautiful little town called Minden, Nevada at the base of Lake Tahoe. She has the most beautiful view and is retired now. But that's why I'm in the business, because I got my first job working part-time while I was still in high school as a reservations agent at Harrah's Atlantic City. And I went to school in Reno and majored in English. I was supposed to be a writer and moved back to San Francisco, but the industry was exploding right at the same time I was finishing. And so I took my chances and put in for my first promotion and got it. And the rest is history.
And here
Good
she
for
is
you.
today.
Hey, listen, I'm up against a commercial break. Stay with us. Try and watch these commercials. If they don't make you hungry, you let me know. All right, because then there's something wrong with you. Either that, or you had a big breakfast. One or the other. Louis, why don't you take us out? Listen to our sponsors, and we'll be back momentarily
With Jenny
With Jenny.
Holaday from Encore Boston Harbor.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy
and Mike Kunstler,
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
Okay. And we are back. Our special guest, I say special with a capital S, is Jenny Holaday. She's the president of Encore Boston Harbor Casino. And you know something? It's a pleasure, first of all, meeting you and talking to you. And the responsibility, I still, to me, it's amazing what you have to be in touch and taken care of and dealing with and everything else. In the movie, Louis, did you see Casino?
Yes,
yeah.
Of course.
Who hasn't?
Robert De Niro and Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
Yes.
De Niro goes up to the chef and he's looking at the blueberry muffins, and one muffin had more blueberries than the other one. And he started getting on the chef. He says, you know, they got to be equal. They got to be the same. Are you that detailed, girl?
I can't believe you just referenced that, Mike. I get asked about that movie a lot, and I always reference. I reference that scene because I know everybody thinks it's made up, and that's exactly the level of detail that is required to do this job well.
Yeah, John Marsh. Those
Now,
are beautiful.
The downside is I'm absolutely awful to go on vacation with because you can't turn that off. So you are in that mode everywhere you go as a consumer. But yes, that's the attention we have to pay to everything.
That is incredible. One of the the biggest draws, I believe, the Encore has are your restaurants, because you have dining, Bill. I think you take them all. You go to all of them.
Yeah, they're unbelievable.
The variety you have to choose from. I mean, if you want to just get a piece of pizza, you can do that in the sports book, or if you want to go to the high end. Now, could you tell us a little bit about the new fish restaurant that just opened up?
Yeah, Seamark. Have you been, either one of you?
I haven't been yet.
Of course. I was there.
Right. I was just there Monday.
Were you?
So lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chef Michael Schlau, who was a very big deal, is a very big deal, opened a very well-known restaurant in downtown Boston called Radius, and was a James Beard Award winner. COVID created some interruptions with that, and so we were lucky enough to be able to bring him on board here. So he is our executive chef at Seamark, and everything is, not only is it delicious, I find the menu very fun. So the Schlau burger that he was famous for while he was at the Radius, which, by the way, just got voted the best burger in Boston.
Really?
Not surprised, Mike. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Oh,
Bobber, did you hear that? The best burger.
In fact, we're going to be taking a couple of our chefs to the New York Food and Wine Festival, and Chef Schlau has graciously agreed to attend, and he's going to actually compete in the burger category with his Schlau burger in New York in October. Awesome. But then it's things like the spicy crab fried rice, which is so yummy, or the tuna, delicious arugula salads, great lump crab, the lobster Diablo. Like, part of my job is I do have to eat my way down every menu in every restaurant, so I do so happily.
So tough.
But
one thing about carrying a few pounds, at least this is the way I convinced myself. The more weight you have, what it does, it pulls the wrinkles down so your face doesn't
spread out.
No, you think about that, girl.
True. It's true.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
The now we have a breakfast place that's absolutely phenomenal.
Breakfast and lunch.
Yeah.
So our very own garden cafe, reimagined as Giardino, which is garden in Italian, operated by our very important and dear partners, Nick Verano and Frank DiPasquale. It reopened in August.
Yeah, it was
and it's open for breakfast and lunch. Yeah, 7 days a week.
I've been in a couple of times for breakfast, and I don't know if you tried. Huh?
The frittata.
The frittata. I was just gonna. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
That's my number one thing.
Yeah, amazing.
I mean, if that doesn't put a smile on your face to start off your day, then something definitely wrong with you. I mean, really unbelievable. And it's good because we were really lacking. If you were staying overnight, you were lacking a place for a good breakfast. Be able to sit down, have a Bloody Mary or whatever the case might be, have a good breakfast. The view, that room, in my opinion, it's so beautifully situated for a classy restaurant. It really is. Yeah. You sit out in that balcony. I want to get back about the fish, the new fish restaurant, Seamark. I can remember that room when it was Sinatra's when Encore first opened. And I was super, because I like Sinatra's in Vegas a lot. And that was one of my favorite places to go eat. And that room in particular.
I love that room.
It's gorgeous.
Outside.
It was gorgeous. Oh,
inside, outside.
I remember getting an osso buco one night. I don't know how the waitress or waiter was able to bring that over to the dish without the meat just cascading down off the bone. I mean, he put it down and I'm looking at it and all of a sudden the thing just starts peeling away like it was on cue. I mean, and the other thing I loved when we first went there, and this is only a few days after Encore opened, was for the pocketbooks, those little chairs.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's
a nice touch.
That is a nice touch.
Yeah.
That is a nice touch.
I'd never seen anything like that. I was out on my interview trip, and I forget where I was eating, where I saw one. And of course, as a mother, I took one look at it and said, oh, that's the most dangerous high chair I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I laughed.
No.
I laughed when one of your hosts sat on it when I was having Charlotte. I don't know if you remember her, but she was too funny. She sat down, pulled it up, and sat on. I was like, "What the heck is that thing?"
Gosh.
That was
Oh my
hilarious.
gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Bill, how many people on your Facebook with everything Encore Boston Harbor? How many?
13,000 for this one and 75,000 in my Vegas group. So I try to cross promote as much as I can to let so people in Vegas can come this way and realize they can get the same experience here that they get out there, and they don't have to travel this far.
Yeah.
So that's the main purpose.
Well,
I'm going to Vegas in October, so.
Are you?
Yeah.
Perfect time to go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Halloween.
Yeah.
I belong to an organization here in Lawrence, Massachusetts called the Sandalfio Society, and I joined in 1998. And it's all volunteer, and we have a big feast that we do, and it's a beautiful. You're familiar with the feasts that go on in the North End. Well, we do the same thing in Lawrence, Massachusetts, and we've had some really good entertainers there, and it's a good thing. But my first year joining, we have a feast raffle, and I don't know how many tickets they sell, but they sell a ton of them. And I bought a book, seven chances for $10, or whatever the case might be, and I had just become sworn in that morning. We wear a sash, Jen, and that means you're a representative of the society. And I just got sworn in that night. And when they were pulling out the raffle winners, I won third prize, and it was a trip. At that time, Steve Wynn owned the Bellagio, and we went to the Bellagio, and it was 3 days, all expenses paid. And you had members that have been there like 40, 45 years that never won anything.
The fix is in.
First day.
And we went, and the Bellagio was brand new. It was only about a year old at the time. But I remember that. It's just right up here in my memory bank.
So, I mean, what a beautiful resort. And at the time, the first casino to cost $1 billion with a B dollars to build. That was really the headline about it. Because back in the day, they weren't as expensive. I mean, we spent 2.6 on this one.
2.6. That's the number. You have some people that have been saying hello. David Allotti.
Can I just ask Jen a question before you get there?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Lou wants to ask Jen a question.
I just want to ask Jen a question before you get there. Jen, where's the Celtics arena going?
TD Garden?
You guys got to be plans for what's going on with that down the road.
I will tell you, Lou, I have heard absolutely nothing. I will say,
you sound like Sergeant Schultz.
Yeah, I know, which is why
I know nothing.
I'm going to add one quick piece of context. It's very difficult to find a casino company that also owns a sports team. There are a lot of people who would consider that to be a pretty strong conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So even in Nevada, I think the Maloofs that used to own the Palm also owned the Sacramento Kings, so they couldn't have a sports book. I can't even imagine what the restrictions would be in Massachusetts because we're much more conservative. So I think that my intel is probably correct, but I read the papers. I see those rumors, so I'm not sure where those are coming from. Maybe it's going on above my pay grade.
I thought the Revolution was going over there. Thinking about
That's on the other side.
They can't talk Boston and letting it happen, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anything's got to be better than what's there right now. I mean, they're going to decommission that electric company, Mystic. And you know something, just like what Encore did to that junk pile that was there, it'll be amazing to see in another 5-6 years exactly the way that looks, the footprint.
Hopefully,
it's going to be absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
On the expansion note, where are you? What's going on with expansion plans and going forward?
Yeah, so the original plan that we had submitted drawings for and had started floating up through the process, that has since been scrapped. Our CEO was just here 2 weeks ago and assured all of us it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. But we own almost all of the land across the street from the resort. So you will definitely see us coming back with another iteration. Maybe one that stands a better chance of getting approved. But as of right now, it's on pause. I think that somebody had mentioned the Revolution Stadium. There's a lot that needs to get figured out over there.
Right.
So we tried to run through that gauntlet, and we're not very successful. So we'll let somebody else take a shot at it, and then see maybe how we can come back and help their efforts.
Absolutely. And there'd be a walkway over Route 99 to get to the Encore Casino.
Wouldn't that be nice? That would definitely help Broadway, because that light would get a lot shorter.
Is it one of those people movers?
Well, that's what we were. That's literally what we were
Pretty
going
long
to build.
walk for an older person.
No, it was going to be fully enclosed, HVAC, the
Oh.
people mover. Oh, it was top shelf, sir. Yeah, that was all part of the plan.
You know, I like the way you think.
You should know better. That's how
Huh?
Win.
I
That's
should
how
how
Win
we do
gets
it.
movers.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
I should. No, it. I mean, that's like a 45. How many acres of land in there that you guys
Oh,
are looking
gosh.
at?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
There you go.
What a diplomat she is. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's all about trying to get favorable taxes and tax breaks, and that's what it's all about. That's the name of the
That's
game.
business.
We got Barbara Cody. Barbara is saying hello. Andy Parisi saying hello. David Alotti. I don't know David, but he's out in California, and he said good morning to you. And it's good to hear from people all over the place, and that's a wonderful thing. The one negative that I hear about, and you know, we're very complimentary to Encore because that's what I believe. I mean, I'm not an employee. I have nothing at stake.
Mhm.
But I mean, when I go, when I do the show the following week, I always talk about my experience. I love to talk. I love to eat. I love to cook, and I know you're a very, very good cook also. But people are getting older and older, and if you look around the casino, you see a lot of gray hairs, a lot of gray hair people, and it's probably because, you know, they've worked hard all their lives. They got some discretionary dollars to spend on gambling, but people also have a lot of arthritis. They have knee problems, the whole 9 yards. When you come into the reception area, and say I was taking my mother with me, and my mother couldn't really walk that far, so you valet your car, you go right to the reception area. Why doesn't Encore have
Any type
some
of seating in
some
that area?
seats to sit down for the elderly people? Well, their daughter or son is checking in at the in line. I've always questioned that.
Yeah, that's probably a well-established tradition for a lot of casino resorts, is to minimize opportunities for loitering. And while you bring up a great example of where it will solve a legitimate customer's experience, I guarantee you, sir, if we had a plethora of seating in our lobby, you would see all kinds of people who you wouldn't want interacting with your elderly mother, because it creates opportunities for people to hang around.
That's a very good point you're making. But my case is, you know, you're not going to put tables, you're not going to have lounging areas, just some seats so they could get off their feet while their daughter or son or whatever the case is checking in. But you know something, I understand your point too. I have one more break. You're going to stay with me till the top of the hour, right?
Yes, sir. Not going anywhere.
Oh, I like it. I like the way you think. Louis, why don't you take us out? We'll be right back, everybody.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Sisters and co-owners Antoinetta and Elisa brought their family authentic Italian recipes from Molise, Italy, and a warm and welcoming dining experience to its customers at Ristorante Molise. The combination of their meals made from natural, homemade, fresh ingredients, and your time with family and friends together at dinner time is unmatched. Located in Market Square in the heart of Amesbury, they're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. and are available for private parties during off hours. For reservations, call them at 978-388-4844. That's 978-388-4844. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler.
Owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
There we go.
Hope to see you soon. I like that. Right now, we're going to be commercial free to the top of the hour. And we have Jenny Holaday with us. She's the president of Encore Boston Harbor Casino. My compadre over here, Bill Dorazio. Bill, there's an event coming up. I believe it's going to be sometime in November, and I'd like you and Jenny to talk about it.
We got to get to it, Jenny, because we're going to run out of time here, and
that's
this
what
is near
happens.
and dear to my heart. So
the hands.
Let's
got
talk
the hand
about
thing
that.
going.
So let's talk about
very dear to you, isn't it?
Yes, I love it. It's called Feed the Funnel, and it's a meal packing event. It started, our vice president of corporate community relations from Las Vegas deserves all the credit. Her name is Monica Muradkin. This was her brainchild. She brought it here. The idea is you bring in this company called the Pack Shack who make it turnkey. They bring in all of the whole foods for you to be able to pack, seal, box, and ship the most delicious meal. And it feeds 6. And I love to tell people, I brought it home, I cooked it. It does feed 6. I don't think I could eat it all by the end of the week. It was a lot of food. And so we packed those meals. So the first year we did it was right after COVID. And I think when Las Vegas had done like maybe 250 or 300,000, and I did not yet know what Vegas's count was. And our little, there are 14,000 employees there. We only have 3,300. And our little, I know, and our little mighty team almost did as many as Win Las Vegas. So when the next one came around, I'm like, come on, you guys, we got this. And we beat the Las Vegas numbers. So then the year after that, I'm like, okay, let's see how really great we can get, involve all of our wonderful partners, like the Everything Encore team. And the last year we packed 1 million meals. And this year we are going to pack 1 million meals. So we packed 527,000.
Really?
A couple of weeks ago, and we'll do it again in November.
Amazing.
So that's where we'll get the other 500,000, and we have all of our food bank partners. The food has a year-long shelf life. So it really is. There's so much food insecurity. Boston's such an expensive city. And so for us to be able to really provide such a legitimate, delicious, free solution is just a fantastic event.
So you're looking for extra hands to help out.
Always.
So I would gather as time approaches, there's a sign-in sheet, Bill?
Yeah.
What
exactly? There's a link that is provided by Beth.
And you can pick and choose the time?
Exactly.
A normal time slot, Jenny, would be what, 2 hours?
2 hours. We do 8 2-hour sessions. It'll be November 20th, 21st, and 22nd, right before Thanksgiving, when everybody is starting to get filled with the holiday spirit. And yeah, Bill's absolutely right. There's a link, I'm sure. Do you put it up on your Facebook group, Bill?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So, or you can just show up, quite frankly.
Yeah.
No volunteers ever turned away.
Nope.
And you're in the grand ballroom?
Correct.
Yes.
I like it.
It's a great cause.
And
really
and it's just strictly for our area. It's strictly for Massachusetts or the Everett, Boston metro area?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Man, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. How many Facebook people show up from your group?
A lot. I don't know exact number, but a lot. And they want to do it. And they keep asking me when the next session is going to be. When's the next one?
Louis, that's great, huh?
Get more and more.
Sounds awesome.
I mean, talk about spirit.
It goes by quick, Jenny, right? I mean, those 2 hours fly.
There's nothing really too heavy. People aren't going to.
No, nothing at all. Nothing.
You're literally it's about teams of 7. Yeah, you're feeding a funnel of food. I mean, we obviously have to follow all of the food safety rules, so we're all wearing lovely hairnets and food safety gloves. But you have some people filling the bags, other people sealing the bags, other people packing the bags, the big strong people carrying the boxes, and they literally get packed, wrapped, and shipped. It's such a popular item for our food bank partners. They come and get a lot of the food the exact same day that we're putting that on the loading dock for pickup. Yeah, it's great. You have to come, Mike. You'll have so much fun.
Wow, it sounds like it.
Music, snacks, few drinks, no alcohol, but drinks, beverages, coffee.
You're not going to push me too hard, are you?
You can work right beside me.
Side by each?
Love to have you next time.
I like it. That's a great cause. That really is. That's really a great cause. Jenny, one question I do want to ask you. Say I'm a non-gambler. What would attract me to go to Encore Boston Harbor?
I always say our resort is a really nice alternative to going out to dinner or going out to a bar or a nightclub. It's really is a full service experience, even if you don't like to play slot machines or table games. So we have all kinds of restaurants, and you alluded to some of these earlier. We've got a fantastic Italian restaurant with Fratelli, a Chinese restaurant with Red 8, highest rated steakhouse in the metro area with Rare, the new seafood restaurant. So plenty of food options, lots of fun, lively bars. I don't know if of course you have. You've seen our sports book area.
Oh,
that
of course.
It's amazing.
Beautiful screens for watching your sporting events. We have a nightclub for the younger set who wants to go and bebop to some of that electronic dance music. There are only 2 5-star spas in the area. We're one of them. So if the ladies want to come and get pampered, we also have a gorgeous salon to do hair and nails where I get my nails done. So there's really a lot to do. And you guys were talking earlier about the Harbor Walk. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous
Oh,
out
I'm with
there.
you. I can't even imagine. I watched them when they're changing the plants over.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What an
Talk
experience.
of feed the funnel. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like an assembly line.
So I love to ask
always-
this of people because I know our landscaping is incredibly impressive. How many people do you think we have what we call a horticulture team? How many people do you think are on our horticulture team who keep this
44.
place looking that way? Okay, his
44.
guess is 44. Bill, what's your guess?
200.
11.
No way.
11 people
Holy
make this
shit.
place look that way. When
So
I say,
employees, they're your employees.
Wow.
yes.
I thought everything was outsourced.
Oh gosh, no. Are you kidding? No
I'm
way.
sorry.
we don't like anybody to take care of our place other than us. But no, when I was saying earlier, what a team we have. Like how dedicated, wonderful, hardworking,
11 people to do
work ethic. Do you have to 11 people keep us looking that way?
You know something? Please tell your team though, when they put mulch down, try to use the black mulch next year because
Oh,
it makes
Mikey,
the plants really pop. I hate
know.
that. Yeah, do you agree or not?
I'm not going there.
I totally agree.
Black mulch to me, it yells, it pops, it makes everything look even
I have
better.
black mulch at my house.
I do
That's what I'm
too.
gonna say. Okay.
And
Mike,
do.
I'm making a note right now. Blueberries, black mulch.
How about chairs in the a couple of chairs, 3, 4, 5 chairs. That's it up front.
No, but I'll offer you 2 other solutions that I will make sure I make sure our team knows to offer guests. The first one is there is seating available in the valet waiting area right around the corner. We'd be more than happy to take you over there. We also happen to keep all of the scooters right back there behind the bell desk. So we would literally bring out a scooter if a customer really needed to sit down while they were waiting. So we have a couple of alternatives. I'll make sure our
it's
team
just little
reinforces
things
that.
you know, from people talking to you that know you and you know that some of the questions they ask me, I'm just throwing it out to you.
No, I appreciate that.
You know,
It's
I'm sorry.
I don't want to cut you off, but one of the things I was going to say that we don't talk a lot about, and not that I can divulge a bunch, but security is a very, very important part of any casino operation. We are first and foremost a cash handling business. And so some of the things that we do to make sure that it feels as safe and comfortable as we work very hard to make sure that it does, includes a lot of those things that might not always make sense to people, but that add to the overall feeling of safety and security.
I have never been in that casino area or any part of the property for that matter and not felt comfortable.
Yeah.
And that says something.
That's true.
You know, I think we had a little problem, and that's how you and I first interfaced with each other, and it involved security. And the way I was treated, I wanted Jenny to know, and I didn't know who she was, but I wrote to her, and I was complimenting the security team from the beginning to the end result. And that doesn't happen. Customer service today is like 2 words that do not exist anymore. And it's sad. It's sad because everybody likes to feel they're being covered. And I was so content and so happy about my particular case. I wanted Jenny to know, and she sent my little letter over to her security people and complimented them, and that's important. That's very, very, very important. But I have never felt uncomfortable. Barbara's never felt uncomfortable. I've never heard anybody say, you know, I get nervous walking through the garage or whatever the case
Right.
might be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and not every place feels that way.
No.
And I've worked for casino corporations that don't handle your type of situation the way we do. You know, you're sort of left on your own if that happens. That's not how we do things
Leave
here.
your ticket in the machine and it's gone, right?
You know,
There's a lot of
something,
places that
so
don't really
much
care.
so much happened to me in a short period of time. I had hit a pretty good pot. The woman came over to pay me off, and I had the taxes taken out, this, that, and the other thing, and it was substantial. It was one of the biggest hits I've ever had, and I was so excited. I was so.
That's what happens.
I mean, I was pumped, and when she paid me, gave me back my license, I just got up and walked away, and I left $749 in the machine. I wasn't gone 2 minutes. I went back. Bye. See you later.
Yep.
But boy, I'll tell you, your people, I say your people, your employees,
our team,
our team, security team, they kept, every 2 days I heard from them. We're doing this, we're doing that. We know who the woman is. We know this. We got a picture. I mean, it just made me feel good. And
it should make everybody feel good because that's
like
how they do.
anything else, the only time you hear from people is when they got a bitch. You know, it's the truth. It's the truth. Listen, hey, girl, and I call you girl. Hope you don't mind that.
She's young.
That's it.
Younger than you are.
I got sneakers. I got
a daughter that's almost her age.
There you go. But listen, it's been a pleasure having you on with us. I hope you can do this again. I really do.
I would love to. You guys have been so much fun.
If you have the time, you come in the studio, then we could really act up, you know. But anyway, I want to thank you.
Thank you both.
You're a delight.
Thank you, Jenny.
And I hope
thank you, Beth, too.
Cross again.
Thank you, Beth.
I know I'll see Bill there. Mike, hopefully I'll see you at Feed the Funnel.
You know something? I'm gonna write it down. I got the dates down. 2020.
I know where he lives. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, Bill.
I got such a deal for you. Hey, listen. Thank you very much. Take care.
Right. Thank you both.
All right, you both have a great
everybody.
weekend.
Okay.
Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend with this gorgeous weather. And next week, we're going to be talking to the Chamber of Commerce here in the Merrimack Valley. And Big Joe is going to be in the studio with me. I won't get a chance to say 2 words. I know I won't. Anyway, take care. Have a good weekend, everybody.
All right, bye-bye.